Welcome to Grazing Hell, the one and only podcast made by a cow. And oh my goodness, every time I do a podcast on my own, an episode on my own, I just yawn away. And I mean, I mentioned a few episodes back, but my sleeping pattern's still not great from when I had COVID back in December. I'm working on it. In fact, I should get back my blood test results. Anyway, hello, how are you? Yeah, same, to be honest. Yeah, today's episode is just gonna be a bit more chill. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling pretty meh, a bit bleh today, a bit bleh, you know, like, you know when everything's technically fine, but you just, I don't know, just little things in your life, you're a bit like, So obviously with everything that's going on in the world, I'm not going to like complain about my life. I'm very lucky, but just, I don't know, just feeling a bit down lately. So I thought today we'd just look at some goofs and gaffs, some tics, some toks, and just, you know, try and put some smiles on our own faces. Because we deserve it. Don't you think? I think we do. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Maybe, should I just get into it? I didn't really have any updates. I mean, I'm working on videos, of course. That's another thing. I think I'm finding it really hard to motivate myself at the moment. Because I have all these ideas for really long videos I want to do, but because they take so long and so much research, in the meantime, want to post things, because if you don't post for ages, people comment and message like, where are you? And also, you know, I've signed contracts for sponsorships and stuff, so I've got to post things by certain dates. So I'm like, I have this idea and it's really interesting and really important, but I don't want to do it half-assed, so I'm going to work on it as long as I need to. But then in the meantime, I've like got to think of something that's like a bit more short and snappy, and I don't know, it's just quite hard to like have myself in both of those headspaces, because when I first started the channel, I was just doing like short commentary videos, little goofies, little riffing off silly videos and stuff. But yeah, as I've developed as a creator, I've kind of become known for my video essays and my longer form videos. So that's how I see myself, and that's how I think most people would see me, and therefore it's not necessarily natural to me anymore to like just come out with like a 10-minute little piece, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm just sort of struggling a bit with juggling the two different types of content, and just keeping up momentum, really. I think, honestly, I do feel sometimes I burn myself out. And yeah, so obviously it goes without saying, I love my job. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm very grateful. The good far outweighs the bad, but yeah, that's just something I've been struggling with a bit lately. And I think the sleep stuff is also really making it difficult to do things. So hopefully I will get that sorted soon and be able to get to sleep before 4 a.m. That would be nice, because I don't know if you know this, but going to sleep at 4 a.m. and then waking up at like 8 or 9, it's not really the one. It's not really, I would give it 1 star. So yeah, I'm gonna look at some goofies and some gaffs, some goofy woofies. So I've got my phone here, and we're gonna just look at some goofy woofies. So this one I found via a tweet, and I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to read the caption of the tweet. I'm just gonna show you it. Oh wait, actually, if you're an audio listener, okay, you know what? I'm gonna play it, and then if you're an audio listener, I'm gonna see if you are able to guess what it is, and then we'll go from there. So here it is. incredible. So yeah, the caption is, look at this goose parade. And it's like, I mean, not a marching band. There's like a person at the front and then a person at the back with drums. So at the front, the person, how do I describe this? If you're an audio listener, you're probably like, what the feck is going on? So the person at the front is doing, what instrument is that? They're playing some kind of brass instrument. They're going like, they're whistling something. And they're in like conductory type gear or like band, like marching band gear. And then the person at the back has got drums. And in between them is just a line of geese. And like the geese are waddling along single file. And it's just incredible. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. They're just waddling along, like marching to the drums, and just, it's beautiful. And yeah, it's in Odense. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. A town in Denmark. Is it a town or a city? I'm going to Google it. Is Odense? Odense? How do I say it? Odense. I'm really sorry in advance that I can't pronounce your... Oh, it's a city, yeah, so it does have a cathedral. Yeah, so... But it's a small city. It's got 200,000. Third largest city in Denmark. I suppose, yeah, if I'm comparing it to somewhere like London, it's always going to... Everywhere feels small because London is just very populated. But yeah, it's kind of... I love it so much. It makes me very happy. I just love it. It makes me very happy. It brings me joy. The geese are so happy that the limelight is on them. They're just like doing their little steps with their little flippy floppy flapper feet. And they just look so happy. And I just love that people on the side of the road are watching and they're like, go geese, you go girl. And then there's this guy on the phone just walking past, oh, fucking geese parade again. I don't know if this was planned. If like the purpose, if it was like a planned goose parade where they rehearsed with the geese, or if these people were just musicians and then the geese kind of were like, you know what, kind of like flash mobbing it a bit. I don't know, but it's amazing. I would love answers, but maybe sometimes you're just not going to get answers, and that is okay. Sometimes the beauty in it is the mystery. So that's a delightful video. I mean, what's not to love about that? So this next one I found is, it was posted by We Rate Dogs, which is one of my favorite Twitter accounts. And it's what it sounds like. It's like a Twitter account where they get pictures of dogs and they just rate them. And they always rate them like 12 out of 10 because... I'm never going to give them below 10, obviously. So this video, I'm just going to show you, and then I'll explain the context. I love it so much. I just played it twice because I had to watch it again. This is Jake and Izzy. They are having a yawning duel, and the first shot has been fired. Both 12 out of 10. This could get ugly, and it's just like the cutest shit ever. It's two little lab pups yawning at each other, and it's just so wholesome. It's so cute. Fucking love dogs, man. I just thank Christ for dogs. Am I right? Like, what? Not to be really, I don't know, grim, but I just sort of think if it weren't for dogs, like, what would we do as a species? We'd be so fucked. I mean, we are fucked. We're very fucked. But we'd be extra fucked because dogs really do just make things more bearable. Oh, bloody love dogs. So the context of this next little video is this is a video of Dominic Raab, and he's a Tory MP. He served as Brexit secretary. And he's like a foreign secretary, or was he? Is he still actually? Oh, no, he's not. Sorry, he stopped in 2021. Sucks to be you. So, yeah, That's him. That's what he does. I'm just going to show you the video and then we can talk about it.
What is an enforcement problem? So I think insults and misogyny is, of course, absolutely wrong, whether it's a man against a woman or a woman against a man. But I don't think that will.
Oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. I can't even remember the context of this. I don't know if this was to do with, I can't even remember like if this is to do with like something that happened in Parliament or if this is to do with like the police and I don't know, it's just funny. That's a very classic MP, especially a Tory MP kind of move. Oh, speaking of Tory MPs, one of my upcoming videos, I'm going to be educating the youth of America about one of our MPs, one of our really obscure MPs, because it's funny and it's a lot of fun. So we're gonna talk about that, and I'm very excited for that. So yeah, what was it? I feel like Jordan told me about this tweet, and it was like something along the lines of, you know, in the UK, we know all about like American politics, but like Brad from California doesn't know who Keir Starmer is. And I feel like that's kind of true. And I think a big reason for that is because like, I think British politics is a lot more boring, even though, sorry. Oh my God. Sorry. I just put my mouth on the mic. Ew. Oh God. Even though we've got a lot of buffoons in Parliament and they have like very funny moments like that and they're entertaining, I think American politics as a show, as a narrative, as theatre is much more entertaining. Like the presidential elections are a lot more entertaining to watch, whereas our general elections, I mean, it's been Tories for the past few and it's going to be for the foreseeable future, whether we like it or not, you know, because that's just... I won't get into it today, but basically, like, it's much like the US, it's a two-party system, but Labour as a party has been so sort of fractured, and it's just not got, there's just no goodwill left, so there's no way they'll win an election anytime soon. What was I saying? Yeah, so basically British politics, I think, is a bit more boring and it's a bit more complicated as well. Like the way it's set up, like, I don't know. It just seems as if it's unnecessarily complicated and difficult to explain and not as funny or entertaining. And also because like the world kind of, and the media revolves around the US and obviously there's issues with that as a thing. But I will say, I will give it to them, US politics is just more entertaining than UK politics. And I'm not mad about it. You know, it is what it is. Okay, so I have no memory of this film. But there's a film back in the day, Osmosis Jones. Anyone remember that film? I don't remember it. So is a 2001 American live-action animated buddy cop action comedy film. It looks to be animated. Yeah, it's animated, and it's like a blue man. Yeah. The animation looks a bit like Disney animation, but specifically the animation in Hercules, I guess is the best way to describe it. And this is from the premiere. And I don't know if you remember the little brother in Lizzie McGuire. What was the little brother called? Matt McGuire, that's it. So she's got a younger brother. So if you haven't seen Lizzie McGuire, then sorry. It's great. It's a classic. It's classic. And this is him at the premiere of Osmosis Jones.
What are you looking forward to most about this film?
Well, I think I'm looking forward to cracking up.
I hope I can, like, totally crack up. So I haven't, like, totally cracked up in a long time.
I don't know why, I just love that so much. It makes me so happy. Like, good for him. I also like cracking up. I just want to crack up. Laughing is fun. I think laughing is an underrated experience. And I also just think it's so wholesome to be looking forward to that. To be like, I'm specifically looking forward to laughter as an experience. I just think that's kind of beautiful. So yeah, that made me happy. Oh, speak of the devil, speak of Ms. Lizzie McGuire. I'm going to show you one of my favourite talks. I'm just going to show you it.
Do you like this top? It's so gay. Really? Yeah, it's totally gay.
You really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Incredible. So this was posted by someone called Patty Deluxe, and the caption is thinking about when Hilary Duff ended homophobia forever. And it was like a campaign back in the day for thinkbeforeyouSpeak.com. So think like B and then for, and it's like an anti-bullying campaign or like anti-homophobic bullying campaign. It's just jokes. It's just, okay, let's talk about that. I don't know if I think this is a very naughties thing. This was a thing when I was at school, saying that's so gay when saying something was bad. And I remember, like, even as young as, not to like toot my own horn, not to like blow smoke up my own arse or be really self-congratulatory, but like even as young as like 12 or something, I didn't know I was bi, I didn't know I was queer, or like maybe I had an inkling, but I didn't have the vocabulary for it. And like, even back then, I was like, why are people saying something's gay? Like, what's wrong with being gay? Like, they mean tacky, they mean bad, they mean lame. You know what I mean? Naff. That's a very British word. I don't think you have that in the US. It's naff. And I just remember thinking that, being like, this is so weird. Why do people keep saying that? And I even had a friend in like sixth form who said it. And this was like in 2011. And by that point, it wasn't even that common. Like, it kind of started dying out. So the fact that they were saying it, I would always just be like to them, like, why? Like, what is this, 2002? I know, it's kind of naff, but I just love the way she just ended her. She was like, girl wearing a skirt as a top. Ooh. To be fair, some items of clothing are a bit confusing. I remember when I was younger, I had this playsuit that had these buttons, and I thought the buttons went at the front. Turns out the buttons were meant to go at the back, and it was so embarrassing. I was wearing it like with the buttons at the front, and the person I was with, like the friend, I can't remember, just a friend from school, was like, oh, that lady has the same playsuit as you, and she was wearing it the other way around. I was like, fuck my life. And you might say, oh, how do you know that, you were wrong and she was right? Maybe it was the other way around. Because like the label was at where the buttons were. But like, I like how buttons look, so I just kind of assumed that buttons at the front, they weren't meant to be at the front. It was meant to be the other way around. It was so embarrassing. I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed, and it was awful. It was just, God. Yeah, now I'm just thinking about that, and I'm like, ooh, that was painful. So let's go back to birds. And we're going to talk about, we're going to pivot from geese and go to ducks. And the caption for this one is, when you told your mom you'd keep the duck for 2 months and it's been 2 years. she's just twerking with the duck, like holding the duck. And this is a weird thing. I think, was it Jarvis Johnson and Danny Gonzalez? Maybe they did it together, but they did like a video about duck influencers. And there's this guy who's like quite ripped, and he's like, I don't know, some kind of comedy TikToks involving fitness and having his shirt off all the time. But he's got a pet duck, and that's a big thing. And it's like, what is this craze with pet ducks? Oh my God. Okay, no, I actually have a story on. I have a personal tale that affected me on a personal level when I. So I take Siggy to the park. I try to nearly every day if I can. And one day I was taking her to the park and I just saw this couple with some ducks. And I thought, when you first see people very close to ducks, it does raise an eyebrow, because it's like usually ducks, by the pond in the park, they're not going to let you get really close. They're going to be a bit territorial. So I assumed that maybe they were feeding them or something. A dog, like maybe a lab or something, runs up to the ducks and starts barking. The couple grab these two ducks and put them in these like big plastic, like giant Tupperware boxes, puts them in, picks up the boxes, walks to their car and puts them in the boot of the car. And my friend I was with at the time, I was like, okay, so there's two possible explanations here. One being that they stole these ducks, like maybe they were worried that they were going to be in danger from the dogs, so they just panicked and like put them in these boxes. Second, like alternatively, these ducks were their pets and they brought them in these boxes and they were putting them back in the boxes and taking them back home. London is, the kind of place where you don't really have pet ducks. I don't know if the rules apply to ducks, but I know you can't keep chickens by law unless you've got like a certain amount of space. I can't remember what it is, but like basically in London, it's nearly impossible to have pet chickens unless you have a massive garden or something. But anyway, and I just was so confused. And I to this day, I'm like, okay, I think if I go with my gut, the more likely explanation is that they're their pets and they brought them. And then when the dog came and started barking, they were like, right, time to go home, ducks. It was just bizarre. Because at the time, I was like, oh my God, they're kidnapping those ducks. Like, someone stop them. But like, if they were, I don't know, it was strange. If that couple are listening to this podcast, if you know who you are, shoot me a DM, because I want to know. Like, I'm not judging. I just want to know. I'm just confused. So, I don't know. It's just bizarre. It's like, okay, I don't know. I think this is maybe a not a very nice opinion to have as a vegan, but I don't really trust birds. I'm not a big fan of birds. I think they're a bit shifty. I don't like their beaks. I just don't trust them. Like, I feel like they could fuck me up if they wanted. So I feel a bit uncomfortable around birds. I find birds a bit unnerving. I like penguins, and that's kind of it. But if a penguin was just in the room, I would be a bit like, fuck, why is there a penguin in here? But anyways, so kind of don't get the appeal of having a pet duck. Don't know if they're very affectionate. Geese, I mean, fucking hell, like, why anyone would have a pet goose? Like, geese are vicious. I don't know if this is a thing where you live, but in the UK, geese are notoriously vicious. They do these scary ass honk sounds. They got sharp little beaks. They're scary. Like, if I ever see them, I put Siggy on leash because A, she'll try and chase them, and B, they could fuck her up. Like, some of the geese are almost as big as her, but they could mess her up. So, I don't know. I always feel nervous around them, not gonna lie. But, yeah, birds are shifty. Don't trust them. It's not a surprise that it's like a reoccurring theme in literature that when a bird appears, it's like an omen, a bad omen. So, yeah. Then again, I have met people with like little budgies or like little cute birds, little pet birds. I think for me as well, it's like and I've had some subscriptions send me birds and with really cute videos of them, and I'm like, oh, they seem cute and nice. So there are exceptions, but just, I don't know, just birds who are out and about, like the non-domesticated kind. I don't know, they make me nervous. I don't trust them. That being said, my stance on pigeons has changed quite a lot. I used to hate pigeons because obviously in London, pigeons everywhere. And they're pretty ruthless. Like they'll try and steal your food, a bit like seagulls do. And I've come to realise that like they're just working girls like the rest of us. They're just trying to, survive and, excuse me. You just got to allow it. You just got to let them live their lives. So I come at the whole pigeon issue with more of a sympathetic angle now. So that's what I do. But I mean, I still wouldn't want to hold a pigeon. I remember a few years ago for my birthday, through Siggy's influencer status, like this is before I even did YouTube, she got a message on Instagram from this company called Go Boat London, and it's like this little canal boat company, and it's you drive a little canal boat and it's really cute, and I love boats, I love canals, I love it. So they messaged her and offered a free boat ride, like as in exchange for a post, because it's dog friendly and they want to advertise that it's dog friendly. And so my friends and I went for my birthday, and we were going through a little tunnel along Regent's Canal, and we just saw this flapping in the water, and there was this little baby pigeon. And like, because we were having a picnic at the time, I was just like, I don't want to touch it because then I'm going to touch food and shit. So my friend Lovis picked it up. It was like, ew, 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 baby pigeon. And then like got out the boat, put it like on the pavement, sort of far away enough, hoping that, okay, it's gotten out now, it should be all right, it should dry off, that kind of thing, give it a little wipe down. And then we put it back, sort of like, pushed the boat away, started driving away, got a bit away, like, I don't know how far, but a bit further away. And then we just heard this splash. The fucking pigeon, the dumbass pigeon, like, after all that, just yeeted back into the water. And we were just like, for fuck's sake. And like, because of the way the etiquette is, it's a bit like driving, because there's a lot of canal boats. You can't, like we had to keep going. We couldn't just like turn around because of the side we were on and there were other boats and shit. So we were just like, you're on your own, mate. Like, we tried. This is just Darwinism at this point. We tried to help you. So, yeah, that was wild. And that was a very silly little baby pigeon. And where were the parents? Will someone please think of the children? Am I right or am I right? And on that rather chilling note, I think I'm going to love you and leave you. Apologies today, such a short episode. I know they're usually a bit longer than this. I'm hoping to have some more guests soon, just because, episodes with guests are a lot easier to make. When I'm on my own, I'm like, the fax machine sound effect. I'm like, can't necessarily think of interesting things to say for more than 5 minutes, but I hope you enjoyed this. If you did enjoy it, make sure to rate and review on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, whatever your podcast thing is. It really helps me out. Even more importantly, it helps out the cow after all the hard work she puts in. If you're watching it on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me about your bird stories. And tell me what you think about this whole duck gate in the park. Like, do you think they were kidnapping them, or do you think they brought them in the first place? Like, which do you think is more likely? I think it's more likely that they were pets and they were putting them away, but I'm open to other suggestions if you think something else was going on. So please, I'd love to hear your thoughts because I am waiting with bated breath. I really want answers, but it might just be one of those mysteries that I'll never get to the bottom of. But anyway, thank you so much. Lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.